Welcome to Cinematic Recaps. This movie is called Mulan. The movie is about a fearless young woman who risks everything out of love for her family and her country to become one of the greatest warriors China has ever known. She disguises herself as a man to battle the northern invaders in China. Sit back and enjoy to see what happens. Former soldier Hua Zhou narrates the tale of his daughter Mulan as the sun rises over a Chinese village. Mulan has always been fearless and getting into mischief since she was a young girl. She is seen rushing across the roofs after chasing a chicken throughout the village. Despite accidentally breaking a phoenix statue's wing, Mulan manages to land safely after falling due to one of the tiles slipping. That evening, Mulan's mother Li discusses her behavior with Zhou, worried that she won't be a worthy wife and that her sister Xiu will make a better match. Xiu converses with Mulan and relates the myth of the phoenix, who is regarded as the emperor's protector. Although he respects Mulan's great qi, he believes that qi is only for soldiers. Mulan will undoubtedly find a way to respect her family in some way, Zhou is sure of it. Years later, near an Imperial outpost on the Silk Road, a witch by the name of Xianyang kills and poses as another man. Soon after, a group of Ruran warriors led by Bori Khan break into the garrison, slaughtering a number of men while terrorizing nearby villagers. The emperor is notified that the Rurans are approaching the Imperial palace, and as the emperor killed Bori Khan's father in battle many years prior, he is aware of his identity. Every family in China is to send their strongest sons into fight, per the emperor's orders. Khan, in the meantime, establishes camp with the soldiers in Xianyang, whom he says is his subordinate despite the fact that she is aware of her superior power to his. He believes no one will stop him from exacting revenge on the emperor for the death of his father and bringing about the destruction of the entire Ruran army. The matchmaker calls Mulan and Xiu to a meeting so that she can find them suitable husbands. The sisters go to the matchmaker after getting a makeover. Mulan tries to cover a spider that falls from the ceiling with a teapot, but the matchmaker insists that the teapot stay in the middle of the table. Xiu flips the table over as the spider reappears, terrifying her once more. Until her hair falls out and hides her face, Mulan manages to catch the cups and teapot before dropping and breaking everything. The Hua family receives criticism from the matchmaker for failing to raise a suitable daughter. An emissary from the emperor arrives as the family is making their way back home to urge the village's men to pick up arms and participate in the struggle against the Rurans. Xiu, who is obviously injured and frail, walks without a cane to accept the scroll when the Hua family is called, but he collapses in front of the village. Mulan tries to assist, but Li warns her that she will only make her father's situation worse. Mulan tries to convince Xiu not to fight later on after dinner, but he is insistent that it is his responsibility as the male to carry out the orders and fight. Mulan observes Zhou, who is too weak to use a sword, while he tries to do so after dinner. Mulan grabs her father's sword and armor because she knows she cannot allow him to put his life in danger. She then mounts their family horse and leaves to join the Chinese army. When Mulan's family learns that she has stolen Zhou's armor and sword in the morning, they become concerned that the Chinese army would kill her if the Rurans do not do it first. Xiu asks for protection for Mulan from the phoenix statue. Mulan travels a great distance on her horse but is unable to locate the army camp. She is led to the other soldiers by the phoenix, who appears and leads her the entire way. Cricket, a tiny soldier, is taunted by a larger soldier while they wait in line to check in, and during the ensuing fight, Cricket is injured. Mulan mockingly assists Chen Honghu, a fellow soldier, in standing up. Mulan then draws her sword and attacks Chen Honghu in return. Commander Tung stops them and informs them that it is not permitted to engage in combat. When Mulan announces herself as Hua Jun, he tells her and Honghu to re-establish their place in line. Later, she discovers herself among the soldiers having fun. She offers to work as a night guard but shudders at the notion of showering with them. The troops start their training with Tung, which includes a demanding exercise that requires them to carry buckets of water with their arms extended all the way to the top of a sizable hill. When a soldier cheats, they are kicked out of the army. During a spear combat with Honghu, Mulan displays her prowess by displaying her qi to the soldiers, but she worries that she may have almost revealed herself. Mulan slowly begins to form bonds with the other troops, especially Honghu in the trio Ling, Yao, and Po, although they all comment on how bad she smells because she hasn't had a wash. Mulan is taking a nighttime bath when Hangwu discovers her and approaches to be her friend. However, Mulan turns her back on him and begs him to leave so that he won't find out her secret. She can turn her back on him, he says, but he hopes she won't do the same to her fellow soldiers. To debate their strategy for the war, Bori Khan gathers his men in his tent. The warriors are more interested in Khan's power and desire for vengeance than they are in great wealth. He assures them of this while also pointing out that Xianyang, who is present there while posing as a hawk, only serves him. When she later brings this up to him, he stays by his word because he discovered her after she had been banished from her village due to her abilities. They decide to launch an assault after spotting another nearby garrison. More soldiers are murdered when they do this in the morning. Mulan is invited into Tung's tent after he compliments her on using her qi and claims that his own qi is very powerful. Given that Tung previously discovered alongside Zhou, he believes she is being cautious out of respect for her father's legacy. Later, Mulan returns to the lake to try to balance her qi. To the surprise of all the other warriors, Mulan is able to overcome the task up the hill before anybody else after receiving more rigorous training. When Mulan repeats the 3 attributes that are inscribed on her father's sword, loyal, brave, true, she feels dishonest. She goes back to Tung's tent with the aim of coming clean, but he assumes she is only anxious because they would be fighting the Ruins the following day. Tung adds that he would like to present her to his daughter after the conflict is resolved. Later, Mulan gathers her fellow troops around the fireplace to encourage them. The soldiers assemble the following morning as the Ruins draw near. They engage in combat, with the exception of Mulan, a small group of Ruins taking down the charging Chinese soldiers. Despite killing a few Ruins, she is discovered by Xianyang, who is aware that she is lying and that her qi will be weaker if she is not being truthful. Mulan manages to escape the witch's grasp after a brief struggle, and she then makes the decision to heed her advice. She takes off her armor and lets her hair down before resuming the battle more powerful and competent. When Xianyang changes, a group of crows attack the soldiers. When they group together to form a shield, the Ruins take advantage of this and use a catapult to hurl fireballs at them, severely wounding several of them. Mulan maneuvers her horse around the Ruins by using their spear-mounted helmets to make them believe the soldiers approached them from behind. A fireball launched by the Ruins only hits a mountain and triggers an avalanche. The last few soldiers almost escape harm while the Ruins are completely destroyed. Mulan emerges once the snow has stopped falling to identify herself to the soldiers as a woman. She is kicked out of the army by Tung, but she would rather die than go home in disgrace. He still orders her to go, and Tung promises to grant her wish if she comes back. Mulan sobs as she travels home till Xianyang shows up to tease her. She admits to Mulan that she once desired to follow the noble path, but that her exile and other people's mockery convinced her otherwise. By assuring her that Khan is not traveling along the Silk Road as Tung had been made to think, but rather into the Imperial city to kill the Emperor, Xianyang tries to persuade her to join his cause. Mulan is inspired to go back and alert the warriors as a result. On their course, she catches up with them and informs Tung of Khan's real intentions. Hangwu intervenes to speak on Mulan's behalf and assert that he believes in her, as do Ling, Yao, Pa, Cricket, and many of the other troops, even though Tung is not prepared to believe someone who lied to him. By posing as the Emperor's Chancellor and insisting that Bori Khan wants to personally challenge him to a duel, Xianyang enters the Imperial city. The Emperor accepts and enters the battlefield. As the army approach the Imperial city, Mulan attacks the Ruins. The Emperor battles some Ruins before being ambushed by Khan and his troops and being captured. Tung commands the soldiers to fight but to secure Mulan so she can reach the Emperor. When Mulan arrives to the palace, she only sees Xianyang. Mulan reminds Xianyang that she still has a chance to set things right, despite the fact that she believes it to be too late for her. When Mulan asks Xianyang to help her find the Emperor, she transforms into a hawk and takes off, leaving Mulan alone. After returning to Khan, Xianyang informs her that the Chinese army is being led by a fierce woman, and that she will pursue her target. Khan shoots an arrow at Mulan when she gets close since he knows Xianyang purposefully lured Mulan to him, but Xianyang flies in and takes the arrow in the back. As she assumes her human form and passes away, Mulan catches her. On top of a structure where Khan intends to burn the Emperor alive, Mulan finds Khan and the Emperor. She uses her sword to try to battle Khan, but when it falls into molten lead, she loses it. Mulan, however, recovers her chi with the Phoenix's assistance and keeps up the fight against Khan. They jump onto a platform where Khan almost leads Mulan to lose her balance and fall. Mulan wins the upper hand, seizes Khan's sword, and cuts the rope to sever the platform, sending Khan plummeting. Khan shoots an arrow at the Emperor as Mulan goes to liberate him, but the Emperor catches it and gives it to Mulan, who then fires it back into Khan's chest, killing him. The victory of Mulan is celebrated. Mulan accepts the Emperor's offer to join his army as an Imperial guard, but she rejects it since she has been away from her home for too long. The Emperor appreciates her choice since he considers loyalty to one's family to be a major virtue. As she walks away, Hangu follows after her to bid her farewell and promise that they will run into each other again someday. When Mulan returns to her village, everyone is shocked to see her. When Xiao finds out that her sister has come back, she leaves the matchmaker. Before Zhou exits, Mulan gives Xiao and their mother a hug. Mulan apologizes to Zhou for defying him and dropping the sword, but he responds that she is what matters to him most, and they hug. To everyone's delight, Tung soon arrives with other troops to inform Mulan's family and the rest of the hamlet about her role in preserving the Emperor and the Imperial city, and the matchmaker faint. The new sword she receives from Tung has a fourth virtue, devotion to family, added along with the original three. According to Tung, the Emperor insisted that Mulan change her mind about enlisting in his army. Zhou ends his narration by predicting that his daughter would go down in history as Mulan looks to the sky to see the Phoenix once more. And that is the end of this movie. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for daily updates of movie recaps like this. Comment what movie you want next. Thanks for watching.